Hello everybody and welcome to part 3 of Banished Colonial Charter mod. So, let's get the time rolling now that I've opened it up. And let's see what we need to do. Right, we'll put it up to 5 times speed. Now it looks like down here, yep, I remember now, I set it to chopping down a little bit of, well no, not chopping the forest, sorry, getting rid of the stone and the iron, so that then the forest lodges can then start cutting more of, planting more forest for our gatherer and for our hunting cabin and stuff like that. Now we've got them there as there. It was pointed out it probably wasn't the best location for the gatherer hut, and I do agree because of this massive mountain on this side and this side. But we do have this region here, which I'm going to stick one in here, which should be a nice sort of circle of just forest. And then further down as well, this one will probably include a bit of the mountain range too, but we can't really help that too much. And we should be able to get a few of them down here. We've got kind of quite a mountainous kind of map going on around here actually. So we're going to have a lot of tunnels, which could cause a few problems with the stone, but I'm sure we'll get through the problems. Something else that needs to be bared in mind as well is that food isn't too high at the moment, so I don't want to rush the houses. I think if I get these last 2 done, just to get a bit more population running through the village, then that can only help. Also got to bear in mind I've got the trading post and the fishing docks to do up here, and the shore house actually, which I'm quite interested in seeing what exactly that does. That was the thing with the turtles, wasn't it, in the sand. But also you can collect sand, I think, ready for the glassworks, so got to look into all of that sort of stuff. Happiness is full up at the moment, which is quite good, but unfortunately we're only on 3.5 hearts of health, which is kind of disappointing. I think that it's probably because the food got quite low, which may have been causing that kind of issue. Where they're chopping this stuff here, they've got to run quite a long way, haven't they? I wonder if a storehouse closer to town, or closer to this area, might help out. In fact, because these things here, these woodcutters and blacksmiths, I'm never too sure about these, like whether they should be further away from town and then the market can bring them to it, but they're closer to like where we're getting all the wood and stuff. So I might actually make a little section somewhere around here that is just woodcutters, perhaps. Maybe in here I could just have like a little woodcutter section. This is when the game gets going. At the moment we know we're near the stage where we need more wood fuel, but get the woodcutters sort of lined up along here with a few forester lodges, and we'll just constantly get the wood cut down and then growing it back and stuff like that. Right, so these guys are starving. Unfortunately, we're not starving, they're just running out of food. That's the beekeeper, so he should have as much food as he needs, really. How's the bee house doing anyway these days? 1008, not as much. The farm didn't do as well as it should have done, I think. This farm will now be kicking in. We've got wheat in it, right? We'll do potatoes in that one, and we'll do some wheat in this one this time around. We've got 3 on each, so that should be plenty enough to get the actual job done. Iron and stone is still being collected, and the gatherer hut is doing a good job now. I'm pleased about the way these gatherer huts work. They do really nicely. Get some leather as well. So actually, maybe a tailor would be in order. Alright, so where do we go here? Then we go to resources and then tailor. Just got to find a decent place to put it. Really, that's the main thing. I was thinking that up here actually I might do like just a line of houses up here and a few lines of houses, just so the population can get growing. Got a school fairly close by, plus the good thing about that is that it's all within the market's radius, so all of these houses around here will be able to get some nice food and everything else like that, so that should work out quite nicely. What else do we have here? Glassworks. Not sure what the glass is used for yet, but we'll find out. So we need some mulberry. We've got a ropery, hemp and flax bound into rope, silkworm hut, raises silkworms to make silk, and as a last resort for food. Okay, we look like we're getting down to that last resort now by the looks of it. Alright, let's get a tailor down. It's a shame that I put the storehouse there, because a tailor would have been nice actually with these two things. I always sort of associate them with the blacksmith in a way, but it's okay. We could put it here, I suppose. Apologies for the bashing. It's my neighbour just keeps doing building work every day. I'm finding it very hard to find any space for recording, so hopefully it's not too much of a distraction on the video. You just can't choose your neighbours, unfortunately. Right, there's a tailor there. Now, how many clothes do we have? We don't have any clothes at the moment, okay. And I think... where's the leather going to be stored? That'll be stored in this barn down here. So we've only got 6 leather at the moment anyway, so we're not in a massive rush to actually start building that. So I'm going to pause that for now, because I want them really to clear up a lot of this stone and iron. That's kind of the main thing at the moment. 167 stone, that's going quite well. Wood is starting to go down. I'm actually thinking now that the forester lodges may be a good idea straight away. So maybe if they can work on that one, we'll get one person in the forester lodge on each one, and well, that'll be all of our labourers gone actually, although we could take 2 people off the builders, I guess. We don't need to have 4 builders while there's nothing being built, do we? So in fact, there is something being built though, isn't there? The Forester Lodge. How many does it need? It only needs 2. Okay, and we're only building 2 things, so... in fact, actually, if I put that up to 4 again, and then I put that... unpause this one here, then hopefully that should all go well. While they're doing all of their other bits and pieces, I'm going to actually start laying out where I think all these houses should go, because I really want to have these houses down here. I think this will be a nice place to have them. They like to do the sort of the pointless tasks, don't they, first? What I'll do is I'll do a set of 3, leave some space for like a well or something. Actually, how much space does a well take up? See, why do they do this? They just go straight for the houses. Well, I don't want them to do the houses straight away. I need them to prioritise this section down there. Get that section done, guys, and then you can come and make more houses for your neighbours and stuff later on. Right, where are these wells in? Town services? Well. Right, a well needs 3 sections. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, and so we can build it there as well. 1, 2, 3. In fact, because we've built a well there like that, we'll so again, they're just bringing food straight to the houses. I really do not know what's going on there. That's terrible. I said food, I mean wood, sorry. This bashing next door is distracting me a little bit. Right, so there we've got a nice row of houses there that all of them are encompassed, I believe, within the marketplace. They are indeed, okay. So we've got a nice row of houses there. We're going to have another row here. These ones possibly could be facing the opposite direction. And I think we'll do it the opposite way round this time. So we'll do 3, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then enclose these ones. Let's pause them all. Wonder how those forester lodges are getting on. If they've been built yet, or if they've just been lazy trying to bring it up to the houses constantly. Right, so they're not doing anything. I don't know why they're not doing anything. I've increased priority of these. They've really got to get down here and start doing some work. I mean, if they want to live through the next winter, they've definitely got to get down there and start pulling their weight with things. They just seem to really like doing roads and stuff for some reason. And what I'm thinking, guys, actually, is that this is going to be probably, hopefully, this can be the last set of wooden houses we actually make before we move on to just building stone houses, and then later on probably go for colonial house and colonial manors. So you can have a family of 8 in a colonial manor. Very nice. So you can. That's a really nice house, actually. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind living in something like that myself. Look at that little balcony thing at the top. That's really interesting. They've made some really nice things in this mod, I have to say. Some really, really nice things. How are they doing here? Right, they've chopped all the trees, and now they can start building this one. Very good. And this one, they're still delivering stuff, but if you guys just get on with building this one as soon as you can, we might actually be able to get somewhere with this forest. What's this here as well? Herbalist, okay. Yeah, we need a herbalist as well. That's probably the next thing. Once we've got the forest lodges built, we'll move on to the herbalist, get that done. Are they harvesting now? Yep, they're in the middle of harvest, and these guys are as well, so food should be going up nicely. 1,347, very good. 1,500, okay. If that can get up to 2,000 with this last bit here, that'd be very, very nice. Honey isn't doing as well, actually. Honey's not doing fantastically. I wonder if honey does better away from, sort of more away from civilization, if the bees don't like it as much. Maybe they need an M&M factory. Don't know if you guys heard about that on the news before. In France, I think it was, there was an M&M factory, and the bees were taking the colouring from the M&Ms, and it was actually turning their honey and the beeswax into like blues and greens and browns and stuff. Really weird colours. It's quite an interesting thing to see, actually. Okay, here we go. Let's put one guy in there, and he can actually plant to begin with. Get planting, good sir. We'll get rid of 2 of our builders and keep the other 2 just on the forester lodge there. The rest of them can hopefully, when I prioritise, get on to doing this extra forester lodge. Right, yep, and that needs building now. Fantastic. Right, guys, do the herbalist as well. That's... oops, sorry. Nope. In fact, everything down there can be just a priority. That one's being built, so that's no problem at all. This one I need to just bring the stuff to. Plenty of wood and plenty of stone. I've got to remember to sort of switch between these as well. Have this one can plant, and then a little bit later, when this is fully up planted, we'll plant that one and cut this one, and we'll switch it. We'll keep switching it around and changing up what we do, just so that each little section of the edge of the rings, we don't miss any planting and all that kind of stuff. How's this going? Right, that's going. Let's put a person on a herbalist now. I'm finding it really difficult to find where these things are these days, since they've added tons and tons of new ones in. Herbalist. There we go, we'll put one herbalist on. He doesn't have a job at the moment, unfortunately, but he will. You will do soon, my friend, you will do soon. Actually, in terms of houses, first of all, before we build those ones up there, I'm thinking the ones down here might be a better bet. Maybe some stone houses, though, I think. Let's go for some stone houses down here. Let's try and keep these guys as warm as possible, eh? And that should definitely be enough housing there for these things. Actually, I'm not sure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be enough houses. 4 houses should be enough for 7 workers down in this section here. I'm pretty certain about that. We'll see anyway. We'll see how it goes. Stone, we're going to run out of stone probably before we actually manage to do those houses. We probably should get a quarry going, I think. We need to build some more houses and get a quarry going. That way we can get a nice constant supply of stone. It may trickle in very slowly with a quarry, but at least it does come in as a steady sort of flow. We'll have to also get all this stone and stuff up here. Maybe another storage section is definitely needed. Stockpile in this section here to collect the stone. A 10 by 10 stockpile, because the thing with stockpiles is they can always be removed in the future if you don't need them anymore. I mean, once they run out, this one here for example, if this one runs out anytime soon, I can just knock it down, build a couple more houses, maybe build another school or something there, hospital perhaps. That'll probably be a better bet actually. With the health of the people at the moment, there's going to be some kind of disease soon. Herbalist is up and running, very nice. You've got to collect your herbs. We need 100 of them, so get working on it. And then people should be able to come here and sort themselves out. Right, you're going to be cutting. Actually, I tell you what, for now, if you just plant as well, let's just plant as many trees down here as we possibly can. Both of you get going. What is this, a tailor? Do we need a tailor at the moment just to get people through the winter? Or is this holding up its job? Only 16 leather. Okay, only 16 leather, so we can't really do anything with that yet, so we won't bother at the moment. That stockpile is ready to be used, and there's still quite a lot of stone and iron around here that needs to be utilised. I'm thinking, because the gatherer hut doesn't reach this far and only one of these reaches a little way into that, I think a stockpile down here for the stone might be useful. If I make it a 5 by 9 stockpile there, hopefully they'll chop that down, hopefully they can quickly get the stone and the iron to that particular point there, because at the moment it's taken them a long time to collect that stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, in fact I'm going to say don't collect any of this around here at the moment, and just go for the stone here. Just go for that stone, guys. We don't need any of this up here at the moment, because I just want to get stone in. I know the idea here was to try and collect the iron and stuff ready for when we plant the trees and things, but at the moment they're just not getting enough stone in for these houses and stuff, so that'll be the new priority. Okay guys, I'm going to call that the end of the video, I think. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.